The Right to Education (RTE) Act 2009 was enforced by the Government of India to ensure that every child from poor socio-economic background must have access to education. The act came into force as a result of Government of India's commitment that every child should be in school by joining hands at World Conference on Education for All in 1990. Eventually by signing International Declaration on Education for All in Thailand 1990. The RTE Act enshrines India children the right to enter any primary educational institution in their neighborhood. All public or private schools alike have to reserve 25% seats for the economically weaker section of students. This is considered as a phenomenal step taken by the Government of India to provide universal primary education. However, the attainment level of these children shows a contrary picture. Globally, it is estimated that millions of children are not learning and in some cases leaving primary without having basic skills. Looking at the similar poor attainment level of EWS students in India private primary schools, Pehla Kadam Foundation came into force. The foundation was registered as not-for-the-profit organization in May 2013. The main goal of the NGO is to provide basic literacy and numeracy skills in an after-school program.
I was 13 when we first started this, and now it's been 2 years.
Hello, my name is Vanesa, and I'm 15 years old, and we have this. I'm running this NGO with my mother, Pehla Kadam Foundation. Together, we teach children from poor socioeconomic background. My mother, Miss Singh, she was working in a private institution in a school as a headmistress, and she realized that all the children from poor socioeconomic backgrounds didn't actually understand much in school because they were using English as the medium for the children, but they weren't really fluent in English, and at home also their parents either were uneducated or did not understand English either, so they could not get any help at home. So they weren't actually receiving the results they wanted, and because of that they left school without a lot of knowledge. We also realized that girls, especially girls, they were supposed to stay at home and help in the household chores, so they weren't included with their brothers in going to school. After seeing all this, me and my mother, we started an NGO for all these kids. We would hold extra classes after school for them, and they could come study with us for free. Sometimes we would take them to malls or some park or lake or something. Sometimes for a movie, and we play games, board games, sports, and the rest of the time obviously we made them study, help them with their homework, help them a lot with English mainly because that's important. Also, this NGO is dependent on volunteers, so sometimes we have more people, friends who teach, help us with some activities, creative work, art. Our long-term goals are to set up after-school classes for almost every socioeconomic background child, so that they are able to receive help in English and they are able to understand what they're being taught in class. Also, our birth does not define who we are. So just because they do not know English doesn't mean they shouldn't be able to achieve in class and all. So we're helping them with that, and we're giving them exposure. My own personal goal is to be able to help remove gender discrimination, because many girls in India still don't get to go to school. They're supposed to stay at home, do the work, while their brothers go to school. Under Pehla Kadam, we also have For Women, which is another foundation, which is another NGO. It is sort of like an NGO, which is basically for helping women and removing gender discrimination, etc. And just to make India a better and safe place for